Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's Something About Vaughn. I am Siobhan. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you for watching, or thank you for tuning in. I don't know how you got here. However you got here, thank you. Make sure that you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you are new to my channel, listen, I don't have a one-stop type of channel. If I bring you here because of hair videos, or if I bring you here because of vlog, I don't know. But I do all different types of things on this channel. So one day you might get a hair video, one day you might get a video of me cooking, one day you might get a video of me painting, one day you might get a video of me talking, and then one day you might get a video like this of me telling you why after 20 years I decided to quit being a pre-K teacher. If you got time, stick around. So I'm going to talk about why I personally quit being a pre-K teacher after 20 years, and then I'm also going to talk about like some shit that I have seen over the last 20 years. I'm gonna do top 5. We would, like, for real, we would be sitting here all day if I were to give y'all a rundown of all of the stories that I have. We ain't got time for that. So I'm gonna do top 5. But before I do that, I'm gonna get into kind of why I decided to just quit. The pay. Being a preschool teacher is something that you really gotta fucking love doing it. Like, you're not going to work for your paycheck. Of course you need a paycheck to pay your bills, you need your paycheck to survive. But if you're a preschool teacher and you decided to take that career path, then you are doing that because you genuinely love kids, you genuinely care about kids, you want to help kids, you want to teach kids, you want to help them grow and develop, and you love your job, you love what you do, because it damn sure ain't for the money. Because the money, number one con of being a preschool teacher is the pay. The co-workers and the parents and even like the managers and the directors, that shit can be very stressful. Being a preschool, if you're watching this and you are a preschool teacher, or you're thinking about being a preschool teacher, don't not do it because of this video. Like, don't let this video discourage you. Because if I did it for 20 years, then obviously, like I did, I loved it. But everybody has a time in their life where they're like, okay, it's time to move on. It's time to find something else. But so yeah, don't let this video make you not want to be a preschool teacher, because I know a lot of people that are wanting to be preschool teachers or wanting to get into that field. A lot of them go to YouTube and they search videos about preschool teacher, or how to open up a preschool, or or find information for lesson plan ideas and stuff like that. So this video may pop up for you. So don't watch this and let this video be like, damn, I don't think I want to do that now. Like, no. But dealing with parents. Now, I have never had a crazy experience with a parent, because I'm just, in a professional, I'm gonna say this, in a professional setting, I feel like I get along with people more in a professional setting more. Y'all, excuse me, I talk with my hands. Don't think it's the nails. Even when I ain't got nails on, I talk with my hands. But like, I'm more of a people person in a professional setting, which is kind of like weird because I don't really fucking do people. But in a professional setting, like, I can do people. Outside of work, I don't really fucking do people. Like, do that make sense? Is anybody else like that? But so yeah, dealing with parents can be like not the easiest thing, because y'all might clash, y'all might have y'all issues or whatever. Because y'all are like, when you are a teacher in a classroom, you have to be, you and that parent, y'all are a family, y'all are a unit, y'all are a team. Y'all have to work together, like, for the goodness of that child. And it's gonna be times where you don't want to fucking deal with the parents. You just drop your fucking kid off and go. Pick your fucking kid up and go. I don't want to talk to you today. I don't want to know about A, B, and C, and D, and E, and F, and what the fuck G is going on in your life. Go. So you have to be a people person. And like I said, dealing with parents, it can be hard at times, because some parents are off their fucking rocker and they be delusional, and some of them cuckoo. Directors, Listen, every manager is not a good fucking manager, okay? Everybody cannot be a good boss, but directors specifically. And I'm gonna get into the specifics more, because the reasons why I quit being a pre-K teacher is gonna be in my top 5 reasons of, or my top, not my top 5 reasons, but my top stories of like things that have happened that I have seen over the years, and the shit is just getting worse. And listen, your girl ain't never been to jail. I'm not trying to go to jail. I don't want to go to jail. And these teachers today, and the parents, and the kids, and the managers, and the bosses, and the directors, and the people that own these companies, everybody's losing their fucking mind, and I don't want no fucking parts of it, okay? That's mainly the top reasons why I decided to quit, is parents, the teachers, and the pay. It's just not. So let's get into some stories. And I'm gonna go in order, because I have a really good memory, kind of. So I'm gonna go in order of the first preschool I ever taught at, and the last preschool I ever taught at. Now, mind you, I said I've been doing this for 20 years. Now, this is the first preschool that I worked at, so let's do the math here. I was fresh out of high school, so at the time, I'm like 18, okay? So I'm 18, I get my first preschool job. I'm like, why am I getting like emotional talking about this? Like, if you don't want to be a preschool teacher, I say this about any job, but like especially dealing with people's children, these are fucking human beings. If you don't like your job, find something else to do. Find something that is going to make you happy, that you're going to be content with, that is going to satisfy you, and you wake up in the morning, you just like, yes, I'm ready to get to fucking work. Or I just, you know what I'm saying? If you don't like your job, don't do it, because people that go to work and don't fucking like their job, you're going to make the people around you fucking miserable. You're going to, anybody that come in contact with you, your energy, and baby, energy is transferable, okay? I be trying to tell people, don't nobody want to deal with your ugly ass energy. But I'm getting sidetracked. I'm telling y'all, I be all over the place. So the first preschool that I ever worked at, I'm telling you, I cannot make this shit up. Now, in this situation, before I left this preschool, I was the pre-K teacher. Y'all, your girl acid reflux is fucking up or something. So before I left this preschool, when I left, I can't talk because I'm getting emotional talking about this, because I've seen so much shit over the last 20 years that is unfucking believable, and I've experienced so much shit in the last 20 years that is so unfucking believable. So the very first preschool that I worked at, I had no experience. I was 18. So if you're a preschool teacher, then you know, when you go and you work at a new preschool, unless you are hired for that specific classroom, you are going to, first coming in, you're going to be a floater. You're going to jump from room to room to room to kind of see what room you fit in, or what age group you fit in, and that you mesh well with, and that you vibe with, and what age group you really shine in. So you know what you're going to be best at. If I know that I don't do good with infants, why would I go, you know what I'm saying? Why would I go work in the infant room when I know that I am great with toddlers and 2-year-olds, and I have the patience for potty training? Why would I go, you know what I'm saying? Or if I know that I'm not a good pre-K teacher because I'm not good at fucking structure and lesson plans, then why would they put me there? They would put me somewhere with less curriculum or responsibility, or you understand what I'm saying? So the first story that I have, I'm 18, I get in this classroom with this lady, and also disclaimer, let me just say this, everybody, all of the names in these top 5 stories are going to be fake, okay? Nobody's getting a fucking real name here, which it ain't going to matter anyway, because all of the people that I'm talking about in this in this situation, they don't work in fucking childcare no more, okay? And some of these people I have even gotten fired. Yes, I will get you 911. I will get you fired real quick, okay? I don't play around with people's kids now. So, if I can get it out. So, the first situation that happened that I experienced was, I'm 18. I walk in this room. I have no experience. These are 3-year-olds. And little Timmy, that's going to be everybody's name. If I'm talking about a boy, little Timmy. I'm talking about a girl, little Sarah. Little Timmy, I walk in, first I get hired. I walk in the classroom. It's my first day. I happen to start at lunchtime, which is weird because typically when you get hired at a preschool, you don't normally like start at lunchtime. You normally like come in like in the morning. I don't know. Maybe I was doing paperwork or some shit, but that's irrelevant. So I walk in the classroom and they're having lunch. Now, all preschools don't do this, but some preschools, they do make you say your grace or whatever. So, you know, bless the food. So little Timmy, this little boy, decided he did not want to say his grace. He was not feeling it. He was not in the mood. He was like, I'm not about blessing this food right now. I just want to eat. I'm not in the fucking, I don't want to eat. Listen, little Timmy was like, bless what food? I'm ready to eat. I don't got time to be blessing no food. So, and they did this every day. They blessed their food for breakfast, lunch, and snack. Because typically preschools, you get 3 meals a day, or whatever. 2 snacks, 1 meal, which is lunch. So I'm like, okay, well, he's cute. So the teacher, we gonna call her, oh, Lord, we're gonna call this bitch. We gonna call her Regina. So the teacher, we gonna call her Regina. So the teacher, Miss Regina, she's like, so little Timmy don't want to say his grace, then I guess you just not gonna eat today. And I kid you not, Miss Regina walked over, got little Timmy's plate, took it and threw it in the trash. Okay? Little Timmy had eat lunch that day. Now, me being 18 and being young and not knowing the rules and not knowing, this is like child abuse. You know what I'm saying? Like I just wasn't like thinking. You cannot not fucking feed kids because they don't want to say the goddamn grace. Like, bitch, who are you? Like, come on now, Miss Regina. Like, come on now. So she took his plate, threw it in the trash, and I'm like, oh shit. Now, being that I'm new, it is my first day. I literally walked in the classroom as Miss Regina was putting the plates down. Like, so when I saw this, I'm like, do I tell on this bitch? Do I say something to this bitch? What am I supposed to? I'm 18. Like, I literally don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do. I'm just like, but I just know that this little boy not getting his lunch and then he's about to go lay down after for nap time, because at preschools, you have your lunch and then you lay down for nap. So basically, you about to send little Timmy to bed for nap hungry, basically. That's what you telling me. That's what you finna do, Miss Regina. Now, again, I'm new. And at the time, I'm not gonna lie to you, I used to be really timid, like around new people, and really shy, really scared. Now I just don't give a fuck. Like, I'll report you quick, okay? Bitch, get who fired? Bitch, you get you fired. So snack time comes around, and this is when I realized that she just did not fucking like little Timmy, Miss Regina. So snack time comes around, they wake up. Right after they wake up, you have snack. Every preschool like that. You wake up, you have snack. We wake up, I will never forget, they had animal crackers, right? Put the cots away, put the beds away, sheets, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Kids sit down at the table, Miss Regina passing out the fucking snack, the animal crackers. Everybody's saying their grace. I don't remember the grace that they said, but I'm sure it was some little short shit. There's probably a little 2-second grace. Thank you for this food, blah, 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 blah. Everybody said it except for little Timmy, right? Miss Regina takes little Timmy's fucking animal crackers and picks them up and throws them in the fucking trash. And I'm just like, at the time, I was just like, now being 38 years old, and I'm just like, if that was my kid, Miss Regina would have got her ass fucked up. Miss Regina would have got her ass beat, okay? And so I'm just like, what the fuck do I do? So I went home, and the next day I'm like, because when you put in a situation like that and you're in a new environment, and I was in a new like work career or field and whatever, and I'm out of high school, so really I didn't like work. This is like my real like first job. So I went home and I thought about it. I'm like, you know what, the next day I'm just gonna tell on this bitch, because number one, she's not finna get me in trouble. Number two, you cannot not feed a child. So basically, and then that had me wondering, like, did she not give him breakfast either? So I'm like, went home, went to sleep, slept on it. Next day, I'm calling the director in the office. I'm reporting this bitch, because that's not right. Like, bitch, what? I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to like pump myself up, because I'm about to be a snitch. I get into fucking work. I'm gonna assume that little Timmy went home and told his mother that he was hungry or something. I don't know if he told her that he didn't get food, because guess what? That day, little Timmy had breakfast, lunch, and snack. But that was my first experience of some bullshit. Now, I had 2 experiences at that same place. The second experience I had was when I moved to the pre-K room. I actually became the pre-K teacher. So one day, we gonna call all these bitches Miss Regina, okay? So one day, even though this is a different person, different teacher, I mean. So one day, Miss Regina, I'm in class, and Miss Regina decided that this little boy wasn't listening. Now, pre-K, you're what, 4 going on 5? I don't know what he did. I can't remember, because again, this is from 20 years ago. So little Timmy decided that he just did not want to listen to what Miss Regina was saying. I don't know what she was saying, but these are kids. They don't fucking listen. That's what kids do. They do dumb shit. They fuck shit up and they don't listen. They're children, okay? Now, Miss Regina, she was like a big lady. This woman was probably like 260 pounds. So she was like, sit down in this chair right now. And I'm like, okay. Now, this wasn't my classroom. Like, I was kind of like transitioning myself into the classroom, and I was still learning the kids. This is probably like my 2nd or 3rd day in this particular classroom. But I guess she was like the teacher's assistant, I guess, in this classroom. So she was familiar and knew all of the kids. So she was like, little Timmy, sit down, you're not listening. And she made him sit down in his chair, right? So when he sat down, she like took her leg. Let me show y'all. Lord, my room is a mess. Close y'all's eyes. So she took her leg, right? Imagine little Timmy is sitting in his chair. This lady is 200 and something pounds. She took her leg and like this. So her leg is pressed. Her foot is pressed on little Timmy's thigh. Little Timmy is a white boy, okay? He's white. So he bruises easily. I'm not white and I bruise easily. I mean, baby grabbed me hard and I be having bruises. I'm like, girl, stop grabbing me so fucking hard. You gonna bruise me up. People gonna think you beating on me. But so she did that. And she was like, didn't I tell you to sit down and listen? Honey, I didn't even have to tell on her, because she just told on herself. Because little Timmy went home. Little Timmy had a footprint, a bruised footprint on his thigh. And this was a big lady. Like, she had to have worn like a size 11 in women's. And I'm not gonna go, as I'm telling y'all these stories, I'm not gonna go into detail about what happened to these. Well, maybe I will. So in that situation, she didn't get fired, but she did get in trouble. The parents came, they had some type of fucking meeting or something. hopefully y'all can see me all right. They had some type of fucking meeting or something, and I don't know what happened, but the director and her and the parents and the little boy was in that room all day. And then I don't know why people want to do shit with me in the room, because I was in the room and I seen this shit, just like I seen the other Miss Regina not feeding the other little Timmy his fucking food. Bitches always want to do some shit, and I'm like, I'm not the person. I am not the person to do any crime, anything bad around, anything that is morally fucking wrong. This is the wrong bitch to do it around, because I'm gonna be snitching, and I don't have a problem with that. I'll be honest, when I seen her do that, I'm like, I'm gonna have to tell on this bitch too. Bitch, you want to go to jail, huh? You like jail food? You like jail food, huh? You like Spam sandwiches? That was that situation. These are some of the reasons why I am deciding to just not do this anymore. As a whole, like, the quality of preschool care has just gone down because teachers just don't give a fuck. Teachers don't give a fuck. The parents don't give a fuck. The directors don't give a fuck. If nobody gives a fuck, how are these kids supposed to succeed? So let's get into number 3. So I was at a center where I used to drive the bus. I actually love driving the bus. The bus is fun to me. I do have a CDL, okay, because you're, you know. So, but driving a bus was fun for me. It was fun for me because it's like, it gives you, if you're a preschool teacher, you know, you need a minute. Sometimes you need that minute to just take it. So driving a bus gave me a minute to get out of the classroom. I kind of breathe, turn the radio on before I actually get to the kids. I'm in the bus jamming, you know. So driving the bus was cool. I love driving the bus. It was so much fun until bus routes for preschools are quick. They are typically like, the actual route is probably like a 5-minute drive, but the actual like entire process is probably like an hour and a half, because it's just, you got to get to school early, you got to wait for the kids. But anyway, that's irrelevant. So now I had to pick up kids that were a part of the after school program. So there was this one little boy, we're gonna call him little fucking Timmy, and Miss Regina in this situation is going to be the director, not a teacher, but a director. And so we have a little Timmy, he's on the bus. Now, you know, when you on like a public school bus, I don't know about y'all, but my bus driver really didn't give a fuck like back in the day. Like, you could walk around, not walk around, but you could kind of like stand up for a second if you like, yo, hand me this, let me see that. And you reach over in the seat in front of you or the seat in the back of you, and you grab whatever you want to grab from your friend, or you know what I'm saying, you just talking. But it's nothing unsafe. Now, I had a little boy, little Timmy, on my bus, and he was just so fucking bad. Like, I don't like saying kids are bad, but like, if you are a 5th grader and you don't know how to listen, and I gotta keep repeating myself and telling you the same thing over and over again, who we gonna blame? I mean, we could blame your parents, because if you like that with me, then I know damn well you don't listen to your parents. So we're on the bus, and this bus situation transpired over like a 2-week period. So we're on the bus. He was a stander-upper. He was a walker-arounder. He was a throw balls and shit all over the place. Like, he was that type of kid. Like, he just was always into some shit. He would yell on the bus. He would talk loud. Like, I'm not saying talking loud is a problem, because when you're on the bus, you do be excited, and the bus is so loud. Like, you remember being on the bus as a kid. It's so loud that you do have to be like, yeah. Like, you gotta talk loud for your friends to hear what you're saying, because it's so loud. So that's fine. But so there was one day on the bus, this little decided that he wanted to take in. Now this is like days after I had been complaining to the director. Now this plays a part in when I tell you that the directors sometimes just don't be on top of their shit. Okay, some directors are just not cut out to be directors. Some directors are just not cut out to be managers. Like, some people are not cut out to manage other people, and that's fine. So I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, like, little Timmy, he has a basketball, okay? a big ass basketball. He decides that he wants to throw this basketball. Now, he has been throwing this basketball on the bus for a few days now, and I keep telling him, stop throwing this basketball, stop passing around, because first of all, there's a big mirror. When you're driving a bus, there's that big, y'all know that big mirror at the top. Now, when you're driving a bus, I have good vision. My vision is okay. So I see everything out of my peripheral. If you stand up, I'm gonna see it. I could be looking at the road head on. I'm looking road. If I see something out of my peripheral, it could be top, side, bottom. I'm gonna see it. Like, I'm telling y'all, my vision is glasses wear. He's throwing this ball multiple day of doing this. And also of me reporting this to the director. Listen, I can have him throwing this ball on the bus. And to her, I felt like she was just kind of like, oh, we have bigger things to worry about. Like, why are you coming to me complaining about a ball? Him throwing a ball on the bus. Like, find something. Like, come on. I feel like she was like, Siobhan, get your life. Like, we have bigger things to worry about in this preschool besides him throwing a ball on the bus. Until one day he threw the ball. Whoever the fuck was supposed to catch the ball did not catch the ball, and that ball literally rolled. And this is also, let me tell you, this is one of the little short buses, because this after school program, it wasn't a lot of kids that I had to pick up. So this bus probably held, I want to say like 18 kids, and I had 18 kids on the bus. So this ball rolled down the aisle. It just so fucking happened that we were going down a hill when he threw the ball. So he threw the ball went all the way down the middle aisle and somehow worked its way under my fucking legs. I cannot make this shit up. I was so pissed off and I was so furious because it could have, you know what I'm saying? It could have stopped me from, and then there was a light up ahead, and that's what really had me ticked off, because it could have prevented me from breaking if I wouldn't have like just kicked the shit out of the way. And I think when I kicked it out of the way, I kicked it in the little stairway, the stairs, you know, the steps on the side right in front of the doors. And so I'm like, you gotta get this kid off of the bus, because he gonna fuck around and make me crash, and we gonna be on the news again. And this, I'm gonna get to that story after this one, because we were on the news, made the 5 o'clock news, and I'm like, y'all want to be on the 5 o'clock news again one more time? Y'all want an encore, huh? So I tell the director, and she was like, all right, I'll do something about it. And I don't even think that she was like, I think she was just the type of boss where she was just like too nice of a boss, and she did not like conflict. So, and then his parents was a little like ratchet, so I feel like she didn't want to deal with the parents, and she didn't want, I was like, you're gonna have to suspend him off the bus. He is a danger. And there was one day that he was walking around, and I'm like, you cannot walk around. And he was walking around, and I actually had to end up slamming on brakes. This little Timmy goes flying, and I'm like, didn't I tell you you cannot walk around on the bus? And she didn't want to do nothing. So after the ball incident, and I'm like, look, like, he could have really caused an accident. Like, we was already on the fucking news last month. What you trying to do here? So she ended up, this is what really had me pissed off. She ended up suspending him the next day for 1 day. No. I think it was for 2 days. She ended up suspending him, right? But the next 2 days were, I think, half a days or something. But this is the part that really fucking pissed me off. Little Timmy didn't even come to he didn't even go to school on half a days. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, bitch, you suspended him on a half a day. He don't go to school on half a day. So, bitch, you really didn't suspend him. What did that really do for me? And that didn't do shit for him, because I wanted you to let his parents know that this is serious. Like, again, that goes to managers, parents, and shit. I was done with that whole situation. So I told her, I said, look here, you don't want to, because that wasn't good enough for me. I said, I'm just not going to drive the bus no more. Find you another after school bus driver that can go pick these kids up, because guess what? It's not going to be Siobhan. Now, the second incident, which is the fourth story. So this is at the same preschool. So we had a teacher that was a guy, okay, and he was, I don't remember if he was a pre-K teacher, because this was a really big preschool, and we had like multiple like classes of the same age. Like we had like two we had like two pre-K rooms, we had like two infant rooms. Basically it was, everything had two. We had two of everything because there were so many kids, and it was just a huge school, so we had the room to enroll all of those kids. So we had a teacher that, and this was probably the most embarrassing thing that I have experienced as a preschool teacher. So we had a teacher, we gonna call him Mr. Reggie, because he was a man. We're not gonna call him Miss Regina like the rest. So Mr. Reggie, one of the kids went home, told their parents that Mr. Reggie did something inappropriate to them. So the police came. Oh my God, they doing too much. Amazon, they trying to charge my card for something. So the police came and they arrested him, didn't ask him no questions, because that's how they do. In the preschool world, if a kid say you did something and the parents decided they want to press charges, they're going to pick your ass up. They're going to pick your ass up. They're going to ask you questions at the station, and then they're going to go from there. But long story short, Mr. Reggie ended up spending a year in jail, only to find out that he didn't do what they actually said that he fucking did. And that's when I realized this preschool shit is dangerous. That kind of made me realize that, like, if a center don't have cameras, I don't even think I want to work there, because at the time we didn't have cameras at that center. But after that situation happened, they got cameras in the classroom. Y'all hold on, because your girl got some rally, some hunger, or yeah. Y'all know these rally fries. I can't even talk. I'm so excited. These rally fries be hitting. Oh wait, I'm ready to kill this shit. So they make this shit so sloppy. After the allegation was made against Mr. Reggie that he was like touching the kids or whatever, basically they were saying that he was like sexually like assaulting them, like he was touching their private parts or whatever, what have you. So after that happened, I want to, like, the next day, we were on the playground, and it was like a big playground, and it was like by the road, so it was like, it was open, like you could see. There was a fence, but like you could, it was one of those, you know, see-through fences, so you could see. The next day, the reporters come, the news station, they got the cameras all on the school. They had, you know how they be setting up when some shit like happen, they be setting up outside. The director opens the door and they're like, can we speak to the director, and blah 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 blah. I guess the parents had like went to the news, and that shit was so fucking embarrassing to have your preschool that you work at like on the 5 o'clock news. But what was weird about that situation was Mr. Reggie, like, they found out that he actually had other cases of sexual assaults, even though they found him to be innocent. He had other cases of sexual assault on his record. So I'm like, kind of like, how did he even get the job? Like, how was he even hired? Because now it's like new, you gotta get your fingerprints and all of that, and level 2 background check to be a preschool teacher. And it was the same way back then, but I'm just like, how did he pass the clearance? You understand what I'm saying? So that was crazy. All the kids was like, we was on the playground, they was like, Miss Siobhan, the news station is here. And I'm like, where? I go climb up on the daggone monkey bars, and sure fucking enough, Wavy TV motherfucking 10. Okay? This is a school where the alleged sexual assault happened, where Mr. Regina apparently touched the kids' privates. More at 5. Embarrassing. The town that this preschool was in, like, it was small, like everybody knew everybody, and like just driving around, continue to have to like pick kids up, because this was before I stopped driving the bus, but continue to have to pick kids up with the preschool name plastered on the side of the bus after everybody had just seen it on the news. I don't ever want to experience shit like that again. That was nuts. Now, Now let's get into this other story. Now, the center where I told y'all, hold on. You think I ain't got no notes when I do? It's too much shit to remember. Hold on. Check my notes. Okay. Where I left all that? Do you know what's crazy? The center with the bus, the center with when Mr. Reggie got arrested and went to jail for a year and then got out when they said he was innocent, he didn't do nothing to the kids. And the story that I'm about to tell about the crazy pre-K teacher. All of this was at the same preschool. I had to get the fuck out of here. This next story I'm about to tell y'all, I can't make it up because, hold on. Oh shit. It was my first day there. And I'm in a pre-K room. And Miss Regina and little Sarah, that's what we're going for her. Little Sarah is on her mat, on her cot. Little Sarah is not listening. Little Sarah is cutting up, baby. When I say little Sarah is cutting up, I mean she cutting up like, she's not cutting up to the point that is like, she's not even being like a disturbance to the other kids. She's kind of like, I don't know if you ever seen those kids where they lay down and it's like they fight and sleep, so they just start talking to themselves and they just like, they literally are having a whole fucking conversation with themselves. That's what kids do. Like they don't want to go to sleep. They're fighting it. Like anything that they can do to stay up, that's what the fuck they're gonna do. And if talking to themselves and having a whole conversation with themselves is gonna make them stay awake and not fall asleep, then that's what the fuck they're gonna do because they're kids. So little Sarah's having a whole conversation with herself, and this is literally, I've been in this classroom for 5 minutes. This is a new preschool that I'm at. So Miss Regina, this was probably the craziest preschool teacher I've ever encountered in the last 20 years. Like this bitch was nuts. Like she was fucking like she was off her rocker. Like I think she legit like has, and what was sad is she was like a young woman. Like she was fresh out of college. I think she had like just graduated. So how old are you when you graduate? 22, 18, 19, 22, 22, 23, some shit like that. Like she was young. And at the time, I was probably like 35-ish, 34-ish. So little Sarah cutting up on her cot, talking to herself, which to me, like she was being quiet. She was literally whispering. And that's when I realized this fucking lady was crazy, because it was my first day. It was my first time in this classroom. And Miss Regina is like, this is what I feel. When you are a preschool teacher and a new face comes in your class, I'm talking about adults, not a kid. But when a new face comes in your class, you need to automatically assume that they are licensing, okay? You need to assume that they are a parent, a prospect parent. You need to assume that they are, you need to assume that you're being motherfucking watched, okay? Because I could have been anybody. I could have been, you know, like they be having them secret shoppers. They really need that shit for preschools. Like, but they need to like pretend like it's a teacher. You know what I'm saying? Because these teachers in these preschools, like they really need to be like fucking evaluated, because this bitch, she was fucking nuts. So little Sarah whispering to herself, and I come in, I introduce myself, I'm like, hi, Miss Siobhan, blah blah blah, nice to meet you. And I was like, tell me what I can do, I can help out at. And you know, I get in there, you know, because I'm a team player, I get in there. So she was like, well, I just laid them down, so they're good. She was like, the only thing I need, she was like, you can just sweep the floor or something like that. So I'm like, okay. Because lunch, you know, kids make a mess at lunchtime. They be having more food on the ground than, what am I looking at? I don't think I'm looking at y'all. They be having more food on the ground than they be having in their mouth. So I'm sweeping the floor, and I kind of like noticed the little girl, like little Sarah, like kind of whispering, talking to herself. But I told y'all that's because kids don't be want to go to sleep. They try to stay awake. So I hear Miss Regina. Miss Regina's like, you need to lay down and go to sleep. But the way her tone was kind of had me shooketh. I'm just like, So bitch, you ain't even gonna try to hide that you like are a mean teacher or you're a mean person, or you're not gonna try to hide the fact that you like are a psycho. You just gonna let this new person that don't know you just see it. That's what we're gonna do. So okay. So shit. Why am I laughing? This shit is not funny. I'm laughing because the shit that I have literally encountered over the last 20 years, and these little bit of stories, this ain't even all of them. This is just the bottom of the barrel of them. Like, it's so many fucking stories, but like I said, I ain't got time. This video is already long enough. I don't have time to sit here, and I know y'all don't got time to listen, but unless y'all want to hear some more, then I get y'all part 2. But so, because little Sarah was whispering to herself, not bothering any fucking body, Miss Regina decides that she wanted to take her foot. Now, you know, I'm trying to find something so I can demonstrate. So we're going to pretend that this is little Sarah's cot. This is her mat. We're going to face it this way. This is Miss Regina's fucking leg, her foot. Little Sarah is laying on the motherfucking mat, okay? She was like, and she didn't stop talking to herself. She didn't stop whispering. She was like, didn't I tell you to be quiet right now? Miss Regina took her fat ass foot and flipped Sarah, went flying off the cots. And I was just like, this another bitch I'm gonna have to snitch on. I was just like, she does not know who I am. I could be anybody. I could be a police officer. I could be licensing. I could be CPS. I could be any fucking body in the world. This bitch does not know who I am, and she literally just took her fat ass foot because this little girl was whispering and flipped the little girl's cot over, and the little girl went fucking flying. And I was like, I gotta pee. And I went and I was trying to talk to the director, and this is another reason why I say something. Director, everybody's not meant to be a director, because the director like was not listening. And I'm like, I was trying to talk to her and tell her, I'm like, I really need to talk to you. And she like literally like brushed me off. Like, you know how somebody say like, oh, they brushed me off? Like, no, when I say she brushed me off, she was like, I can't talk right now. I can't talk right now. We'll talk later. And I'm like, but I really need to talk like right now. And I didn't want to say it in front of everybody and to say it in front of mixed company, because again, I'm new. I don't know who is cool with who. And I didn't want to like start any conflict, but at the same time, like, bitch, you need to go, because at this point, if I've been in this room literally, like, I'm not exaggerating, I was in that room for 5 fucking minutes, and I just witnessed you flip a little girl off her cot, and the little girl was crying. She was like tears, bawling, crying, like she actually like hurt herself. I think she like hit her head or something, like on the, because preschool floors are hard and a lot of them don't be having carpet. And she was crying, little Sarah, and she was like, ugh, Miss Regina, she was like, ugh, and she went to pick her up, and when I tell you, she flipped her cot back over. Miss Regina flipped little Sarah's cot back over. She picked her up and literally threw her on her cot, like hard. Like when I tell you she picked her up, like she picked her up, like, because she had flipped off her cot. She was just laying on the floor like crying, like, oh my fucking God, what just happened? A whole fucking earthquake just came and knocked me off my fucking cot. So when she picked her up, she was literally like dragging her like a rag doll and just threw her back down on her cot like nothing fucking happened. And I was just like, what I'm supposed to do? And the thing is this little girl was literally like 5. She was on her way to kindergarten. And I'm just like, kids this big, they can talk, they can speak up. But what I'm realizing is this bitch, Miss Regina, she was so fucking terrifying that I'm like, this little girl, this cannot be something new, because if she's doing this and I just got in the classroom, like she's been doing this type of shit to these fucking kids. So I'm just like, how is this little girl not going home and telling her fucking parents that her teacher is the boogeyman himself? So that was day one. I was trying to fucking snitch on the bitch. The director didn't want to listen. She didn't want to listen. She didn't want to listen. Day two in the classroom. I think I was in there for like an hour or two, and then I went to another classroom that needed help because, again, I was new there. And when you're new at preschools, unless you are hired for a specific classroom, you're going to float until you find a classroom. Which, yeah. So, day two, I had to end up going back to this girl's classroom. Now, mind you, I'm still trying to like tell the director, but this bitch is just blowing me off. And I think she was kind of blowing me off because at the time, I remember I told y'all one of the cons is pay. And so I was trying to I'm like, girl, I've been doing this too long. Like, I'm gonna need some more money. And I think she thought that I was like pressing her about money, and I was trying to talk to her about money. I'm like, no, bitch, I'm trying to keep us from like being on the news, bitch. So, day two, same teacher that flipped Miss Regina, that flipped little Sarah off her cot. There was a little boy, little Timmy, and he was like really shy. He was really quiet. He didn't talk much. And again, this is my second day now working with Miss Regina. And so little Timmy, I don't remember what he did, but what I do know is that she ended up locking little Timmy in the bathroom and turned the lights off whenever he didn't listen, because he was like a part-timer. So which I don't even know how the fuck that works. Like, how are you in pre-K and you come part-time? But he came like 2 days a week or some shit like that. And he like, hold on. He wasn't doing something. He wasn't listening to something that she was saying, and she got pissed off and decided to put him in the closet, turn the motherfucking lights off, and I'm just like, do you see me standing right here? Like, do you see me standing right here? Like, do you understand, like, what you're doing right now, bitch? They locking motherfuckers up for. You could go to jail right now, bitch. Bread and water is not it. A motherfucking telling you when you can piss and shit and use a telephone is not it. And bitch, I should know because I have enough family members in prison right now. Okay. That shit is not where you want to be, my guy. Okay. And so again, this is the second day. We had telephones in the classroom. So I called the office and I'm like, is there anybody that can let me go to we used to call it potty breaks. Y'all know if you enter the preschool world, you know, potty breaks. Can I go to the potty? That's just what we, as teacher talk, okay? Preschool anyway. So I called the front office and I'm like, the director's office, like, is there anybody that can let me go to the potty? Because I really need to go. And she was like, oh, yeah, I'll send somebody. And I was like, oh, and I need to talk to you. I need to talk to you from yesterday. And she was like, okay. And then she still kind of like blew me off. After like the 10th time of trying to talk to her over like a 2-day period, because I'm like, I'm not going to get in trouble because I'm in the classroom with her. So I got paper, wrote a long ass note, long ass letter, and I just went and sat on her desk. I'm like, she don't want to listen to me. I've been trying to tell her what the fuck is going on in her preschool for the last 2 days. That's fine. I wrote her a letter, and I want to say not even a minute later, the telephone rang. I wrote her a letter, and not even a minute later, the telephone rang. Miss Regina answers it. She like, oh, it's for you. She put me on the phone. The director was like, come to the office. And I was like, I've been trying to tell you this since yesterday, and you just like not listening. And she was like, what do you mean? She like kicked her off her cot. I said just what I said. Like, she kicked her off her cot. She flew off her cot, hit her head on the floor. She locked little Timmy in the bathroom, turned the lights off. And when she locked him in the bathroom, she was locking him in the bathroom like multiple times. This is just like a one-time thing. Anytime he did something he didn't listen that she didn't like, she put him in the bathroom with the lights off and locked the door. Ciao. My last story happened recently. I think this is what kind of like took me over the edge. I'm like, I'm done with this shit. I'm done with it. So I'm at work, minding my business, teaching my pre-K class. Okay. And pre-K, so for my preschool teachers watching this, y'all know pre-K, they don't stay all day, right? Normally they leave after pre-K is over. Pre-K is kind of like kindergarten. Like, it's the same curriculum and everything as kindergarten. So 1 o'clock is over. But the kids that stay for wraparound care, you know, their parents can't come get them or whatever, they stay all day. So they do take naps, right? So my director came in my classroom. Okay, it's nap time, right? Let me back up. This was a new director. And when she got hired, I could kind of tell like something was wrong with the bitch, because she just kind of gave me like crackhead vibes. And I got crackheads and drug addicts and I'm sorry y'all, I'm smacking, but I'm hungry, okay? I ate shit all day. But basically, I got crackheads, alcoholics, and shit in my family. So I know what a crackhead look like. You know, it's nap time, the lights are off. Like, she's like, Siobhan. I'm like, yeah. Hold on, because I need to do the whole fucking reenactment. Because I couldn't believe this shit. Because the fact that she did this made me feel like, bitch, like, who do you think I am? Because this ratchet hair and shit, like, I don't look like this at work. When I go work at a preschool and teach VPK, I look like a actual fucking teacher. This is not what they get. They not getting YouTube Siobhan. They getting school teacher Miss Siobhan. Okay, that's what they get. And I'm like, yeah. And she like, I got something for you. And I'm like, what the fuck this bitch got for me? Because she was the type of manager, I will say, she always had fucking snacks and shit, but I feel like she always had snacks because the bitch was high. You know, when you get high, you get the munchies and shit. So she was like, I got something for you. And I'm like, what? And the way that my classroom was set up, it was like a half a door. Like, you know, one of those doors where it's like, I need a Tom or something. It's like the half a door. So it was like from the waist down, you know, you gotta like reach over and shit. So the kids can't get out, but you can still see outside the classroom. So she was like, Siobhan, I got something for you. And I'm like, what kind of candy you got today? Is it chocolate? This bitch goes, can I tell my story? Damn. That's your cute face. Oh, just go. That's not it. That is not giving what it's supposed to give. That's alright. I didn't give me what it's supposed to give me. Just go.
How you gonna cute face and look rough?
Anyway, so, and I look, and I'm thinking it's a soda because, listen, all I drink, I'm telling y'all that I don't fucking drink sodas and shit, and I'm sitting here drinking a big ass, fat ass, thick ass, wide ass cup of Dr. Pepper. But mainly, I drink water. So I'm like, what is this? And she hands me a fucking can of something. I'm like, oh, okay, this must, because she will always bring in snacks, like new snacks and shit to try. And I'm like, this must be something. This must be a new drink. Okay, I don't really drink shit like this, but I'll try it, you know? And I look, this shit say motherfucker 6% alcohol. I'm like, why are you giving me an alcoholic beverage? For one thing, I don't even drink like that. And when I do drink, it's definitely gonna be a glass of wine, red wine. If I drink liquor, you might as well say I don't even drink liquor, because if I drink liquor, that shit'll probably be like once every 2 years that I will like consume like hard liquor. And it's probably gonna be like a shot or two, like nothing crazy. So I was like, what is this? And she was like, oh, it's a drink. And when I see the 6% alcohol, I'm like, oh, this is a drink. And I was like, oh, thank you. I can't wait to drink this when I get home. I'm like, it's Friday. I need this. It's been a long week. And she was like, yeah, I know. And she was like, but why not now? Bitch, what? I was like, huh? And she was like, why not now? And that's when I realized that the bitch was drunk. And I was like, I'm not gonna say she was drunk, but I could definitely smell like alcohol on her breath. And that's the type of shit that you literally like go to jail for. Like if I was to call like the licensing fucking people and say, hey, my director's up here and she's had a couple drinks, they're probably not even going to like be like, you have to leave the premises. They're probably gonna haul your ass off to fucking jail. And I don't want no parts of that. And I was just like, I'm at work. I was like, I was just so like, I literally like, I don't even think I was mad. Like, I think I was like, my feelings was legit hurt because I'm just like, what type of fucking person do she think I am? Because just because you're a crackhead does not mean that I'm a crackhead, okay? And that's when I realized that she definitely like had some type of substance abuse problem. But I had never, and this happened recently, I had never in my 20 years of, and I had worked in some of the most ratchetest, ghettoest, gutter preschools, and I have never had anybody, co-worker, boss, well, a boss is a co-worker, but manager type of person, nobody has ever offered me a fucking drink at work. And I was just like, do you understand that you can literally go to fucking jail right now? Do you understand it? I don't think she gave a fuck because crackheads don't be having shit to lose. I guess because she thought she was like the boss or the director, that it was fine. I was like, bitch, are you crazy? Did you just smoke? Did you just hit the rock? Because if you think I'm going to open this can up, I think it was like, I don't remember the name, but it was something equivalent to like a Mike's Hard Lemonade, something like that. And I'm like, if you think that I'm going to open up this fucking can of alcohol, if you think that I'm going to open up this 6% can of alcohol and drink it right now, in the preschool, you must have just hit that rock. That must have been a powerful rock that you just hit, because that's what we're not gonna do. Yeah, so those are some of the craziest preschool experiences that I've had. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you hit that notification bell, subscribe so you don't miss anything. That's it. Love y'all. Bye.